I know many cyclists in the community who have quit cycling due to time constraints. Today, I'm here with a man who will truly inspire those who have quit cycling, also those who want to begin cycling.
Have you heard of the Ironman challenge? The idea of Ironman began as a challenge among a group of Navy SEALs. If you are new to endurance sports and are looking on how to prepare for the Ironman challenge, this video is for you.
Meet Dr. Rejeesh Selvaganeshan, who is a surgical gastroenterologist. Besides his profession, he is a great director, a bird photographer, and also a scriptwriter.
Dr. Rejeesh participated in a few Ironman challenges, and despite having a very busy schedule, he came to our show at our request to share his experience with our viewers.
Come, let's meet him.
Hi, doctor. So, besides being a doctor, you're an avid cyclist, a director, a photographer, and whatnot. You even write stories. So, how do you manage your time?
This is always one of the common question everyone asks me. How do you manage your time in spite being a doctor and a surgeon? So actually, it's quite a very easy thing to do. Just a time management. Once you plan what you're interested in, how to work it out, you sit and take your time to see what is your free time. Where are you unnecessarily spending your time? That is most important thing. See, for example, most of us, without knowing, will be spending more time, hours and hours in cell phones watching videos.
We won't keep track of it.
And the end of the result, we don't know what are we happening. 6 o'clock you finish your job, 6 o'clock you go to your office, home, and then you sit on your phone till 8:30 you're on your phone. And then you have your dinner, then till 10 o'clock you again be on phone, and then you go sleep. So this, all you have to first sit and sort out what all the time you are wasting it. One of the most important place where you are wasting time is sleep. So for example, a good time to sleep is 6 hours is enough for us, but we 8 to 9 hours we sleep. Yeah. So if you cut down that 8 hours to 6 hours, you get 2 hours of
extra time.
So that 2 hours extra time is very important. For example, you will not go to a gym and work out for 2 hours. You can't cycle for 2 hours on a working day. You cannot run for 2 hours.
Yes, exactly.
All you need is just 1 hour, but you already have 2 hours. So that is how you take the time. So time management, if you have time management, definitely you will have more time and you can easily sort out your ways. Story writing, I do it on most of the time. I cut down my TV hours and start writing stories. Photography, cycling, running or swimming, all these things I keep it in the morning hours. So I get up in the morning at around 5 o'clock, go weekly once or twice is just photography. So it's quite easy for me to manage all these things. My priority is obviously family and my profession, which I never compromise. But I always have my time. That's always called as me time or my time.
Very important to have.
Very, very important. And that everybody around you have to understand that. Your family, your friends, your working place, and everyone have to know that everyone has a me time, and that me time nobody disturbs that. So that is how I sort it out.
So the Ironman challenge is a testing event for cyclists. And I've recently heard that you participated in the recent Ironman competition. So in our community, there are many members who are very eager to participate on the challenge, such events, endurance rides. So how was the experience for you?
Okay. Ironman basically, I'll tell you about what is Ironman. Sure. So Ironman basically comprises of two segments. Basically, it has a half iron and a full iron. Half iron is something called as 70.3. That is 70.3 miles challenge, and full iron is 140.6, which is 140.6 miles challenge. So it comprises of three sports together, three endurance sports together. That is swimming, cycling, and running. So swimming in half iron, you do swimming 1.9 kilometers of swim. Either it is in a river, open water swim, either in the river or in the sea, depending on the country which organizes. And then cycling, 90 kilometers of cycling, and then running for 21 kilometers of running. So all these three, you need to do it in a time frame of 8.5 hours. That is for a half iron. The full iron is actually the double the distance of a half iron. So it is 3.8 kilometers of swim, followed by 180 kilometers of cycling, followed by 42 kilometers of running. So all these things you will have to finish it in a time frame of 16 to 17 hours depending on the organizing team which they are giving your time. Sometimes they give you 17 hours or sometimes 16 and a half or sometimes 16 hours depending on the course. I have completed two half irons. I have completed a Colombo half iron in 2018 and then in 2019 I did my Goa half iron. And recently, I attempted my first full iron distance in Kazakhstan. Last week, it was held in 14th of August. But unfortunately, I was not able to complete the full course. I completed my swimming, cycling, and during my run, I had some health issues like cramps, dehydration, etc. But I have to quit at 25 kilometers, hoping that
Next time you could.
next time definitely. Then there's no way going to bed without doing it.
Yeah.
But I need more practice, or I need some more workout and stuff to do it. I want to do it better next time. So Ironman challenge is a very energetic, enthusiastic, very adrenaline rushed sports.
Sport event.
It's once you get into it, it is really a awesome addiction. You call it. You can call it as an awesome addiction. But only problem is that swimming you have to be very strong, because it's not like swimming in a swimming pool where you can just stop like that. So you need to really learn swimming on the basics. And it's a long hours of swimming. You know, you have to swim for half an. You have to swim 1.9 kilometers in a time of 1 hour 10 minutes. So that's quite fast. And also you have to. So you need to learn swimming. But once you learn swimming, it's very easy. Swimming will become very easy once you learn it. Unless you learn it, it looks sound to be more difficult. But actually, it is very easy. But learning, yes, most of us fail to take Ironman or scared to take Ironman is just because of this. Open water swimming. So that you need to learn, then it becomes very easy. As biking for Ironman is one of the most important thing, because for me, I feel that swimming is very difficult. So I swim, use a lot of energy, and they take cycling technically a relatively a rest form. I don't not as such rest, but you feel you get you get your rhythms calm down. You
can pace it
down. So you get ready for the next hardest part, which is running. So it depends on person. For me, running is the most difficult part. I'm not a very good runner. I can run, but not a very good runner. So cycling, again, not a good cycling, but an average cycler. So cycling gives you lot of. It is the most time consuming part of the sports. For example, for a full line, you have to cycle 180 kilometers, which takes around like 6 to 9 or 8 hours of cycling time. So you need to really practice on that, and sometimes headwinds, climbs. It's a completely new place. It's not like where you train your cycling. So it's a completely new place. So mental strength is very important. You need to prepare yourself well. And for upcoming people who wants to take Ironman as a challenge, please do try. It's not late to learn swimming, because most of the time people don't get into this Ironman category because of not knowing swimming. It's never late. You can learn swimming in just a period of less than a week. And once you have a coach and somebody teaches you swimming, then it's very easy thing. And swimming in the sea is actually one of the easiest and the safest also. Of course, actually there are a lot of, in the event you have a lot of people there to help you. The crowd is very amazing. It's really a very amazing feel when you do it. Something very different from our routine runnings or cycling or something like that. It's completely a different environment. It's a very nice sports to take.
So speaking about the practice, for a challenge like Ironman, you need a hell lot of practice. So how was your practice like?
Yeah, this here again comes the time management. For practicing like 1 hour cycling or 1 hour running is not enough. So you need to practice for a longer time. So you need more time. So again, what I started doing is that I cut down on my sleep. So I get up morning 3 o'clock. I go for cycling at 3:30, because here the roads are very busy and most of the times are very unsafe. Indian roads are very unsafe to ride. So I felt that the best time to do a cycling is like from morning 3:30 or 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock. So that's the best time you can have.
Yeah, less traffic.
And you only see the heavy vehicles. All the small car, bikes don't come inside. So I get up 3 o'clock, go for cycling at 3:30. I go from here towards Thrissur. I go around like 35 to 40 kilometers and then take a U-turn and come back. So that is how I train. Running is okay. Running, because most of the time when you're practicing, you are like, you need to run for 2 to 3 hours a day, and you have a weekly schedule. If you have you may have a trainer which he gives you a schedule and you can train it. So weekly 2 to 3 days of run, 2 to 3 times of cycling, and weekly twice swimming. So this is how you get the time. Morning is the best time. For me, for my profession, evening I cannot. If I don't do it in the morning, then it's not possible to do my workout in the evening.
So for preparing for a competition like Ironman, you need a lot of motivation, and you need a lot of people to push you so that you can do your best. So how was your family's role in that?
When I came to know about Ironman, and when I took this to my family, first almost everybody felt that I'm talking something which is impossible for me. And then I have a very good motivation when somebody says no. When somebody says I can't, then I do it.
We need to prove it.
I need to prove it. So then I started practicing. So seeing my practice, then my wife started to browse what is Ironman, what I'm trying to do, is it really, how many people are doing this, what is happening, what is the whole story, what is it. She started to learn, and then she started to support me. So seeing my seriousness into the sports, I started going for swimming in the sea, and cycling, getting up at early morning 3:30. So seeing this, then she understood that, okay, he wants to get into a new passion. I think we have to support him. So she started supporting. She explained this to my parents, and they also supported me. My kids, everyone gave hands and really helped me moving forward. They never told you should not. They never gave family burden to me. Mm-hmm. My wife took care of everything, my kids' educations. Even sometimes if somebody asks me what standard or section your child is, I have to think for a second to answer that. So she never burdened me with any family things. She always gave me time to practice, to whatever it is. It's financial support, moral support, any body pain, I need some mentally some support. Whatever I needed, she was always there with me to help me. She came with me all the way to there to cheer me up. She always gives me suggestions that whether I'm overdoing or whether I have to start my workout, you're not working out adequate. So all these things she used to help me a lot. She always stood in my side, taking care of all the other family chores, everything. Even going for a shopping, she stopped calling me. She doesn't call me for shopping or anything. She only goes, do the shopping. She only takes care of kids and everything. Houseworks. So technically I was like kind of a selfish in my passion that I wanted to do this. So, but she understood that. There's a whole family support. Without the support, definitely nowhere I would have come to this much.
So, did the triathlon meet your expectation, and what were the difficulties and challenges that you faced in Kazakhstan during the event?
Expectation in the way, few places I was lacking my expectation. One place, or most important place where I did not meet my expectation was on diet. Preparing for Ironman, my diet was not very strong. Mm-hmm. Actually, you need to have a very good discipline. So my diet was quite on a wrong side. That is one, and otherwise everything was quite okay. Experience in Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is a very nice place. It's a very small country. It's a very the event happened in Nur Sultan. Mm-hmm. It's called as Nur Sultan, Astana. Old name is Astana. Okay. It's a capital of Kazakhstan. It's a small country, and but people are very good. Otherwise, they're very neat country. Mm-hmm. The climate is very awesome. And it's good country to go and see actually.
So how was the whole event experience? Like, was it well organized? And
the event was definitely well organized to an international standard. This was the first Ironman event for them. They have done 2-3 half irons, but the full iron distance, that was the first full iron they had happening there. So it was really very good, well organized, the hydration points, the crowd, the volunteers, everyone was very nice, very good, very friendly. Really it is a very nice place, and for any beginners of an Ironman, definitely I would recommend Kazakhstan. There's no doubt in that, because it's everything is, the swimming is in the river, which is easy for beginners. Second, the cycling course is flat course, so that anyone who wants to do can easily cycle on a flat course, but only problem was headwind. There was a heavy headwind there. Running is again flat, and running is just inside a park. So everyone, always you see, you will have your volunteers around everywhere. You can see your family members if they come with you. You can always see them and you get cheered by them. So it's a very nice place to do a first Ironman.
So talking about the diet, so how important is for a cyclist to have a good diet routine, and how does it reflect on the performance of a cyclist?
It's a very nice question. I think I'm the right person to talk about diet because technically I'm very bad with diet. I'm a fooder and I'm sweet tooth too. So for me and diet is really doesn't go too well. But I would definitely say if you have taken endurance sports, diet is really very important. You need to keep watch what are you eating. It is not like just you have some heavy meals and start cycling. No, you cannot do that. You need to have a proper code on your diet, a proper watch on your diet, and you should, if you're preparing really for something like Ironman or you're for an endurance sports like brevet BRMs, then you really need to prepare for yourself from the beginning with diet. Diet plays almost 60 to 70% of your role in preparing yourself, both mentally and physically. Diet plays an important role. Mentally, yes, definitely, food also plays an important role in giving you enough energy and keeping your brain healthy. So diet is one of the most important things. 60 to 70%, the diet plays important role. The next 30 to 40% is your preparation, both physically and as well as mentally.
The training that you actually
exactly. But diet, if you don't concentrate on your diet, if you don't, then it's really difficult to get into a good form of sports completing.
Okay. So what type of meal should a cyclist should actually have? Like, the amount of carbohydrates, the protein. Should we actually, keep track of every macro that we eat in a day, or?
Okay, I have never went so deep into that, looking for any micronutrients, or I will only take protein rich food and the day before try to concentrate on carbohydrate. I have not done something like that so far. Carbohydrate before the event, yes, you need to load up with a lot of carbohydrates, that is what is going to give you energy. And before that, you're on a practice time, you need a lot of proteins and nutrients to develop your muscles and strengthen your strength and all those things. But what I would suggest to any person, if you're going into as a professional sports or you want to take it very seriously, then you need to really concentrate, sit with a new dietitian, plan up your diet, see how much carbohydrate you're taking, see how much protein you're taking, or supplements, your supplement tablets and all those things, yes. But if you are just like, a casual endurer, like going just for a 200 kilometer BRM, a half iron, all these things, you don't need to really work that much, but you need to keep on what you eat. Don't eat junk foods. Don't drink a lot of drinks which are, high sugar content drinks like Cokes and all those things. Don't load yourself, but don't eat too much foods at times. Have small quantity of foods. So these all helps you concentrate more on protein when you are on the practice sessions and things and all.
So doctor, tell me about your first bike that you purchased.
The first bike I bought was in 2013. That is how when I started my first biking. I got a between rock rider, got it from Decathlon. And that was a mountain bike technically.
MTB.
Yeah, it was an MTB, and it was a very good bike. I had it for some time, like 3 to 4 years almost. I had that bike, and then I switched on to next bike, which was a giant Any Road, which I actually imported from US, and then that was an alloy. That was again an alloy bike. And then
that's a hybrid bike, I believe, right?
It's a cyclocross.
Okay, cyclocross.
It's a cyclocross. It stands between the road bike as well as a hybrid.
Okay.
So that was a new concept that cyclocross was going on at that time. So I like the cyclocross because hoping that I will be doing both on-road and off-road bikings. And then when I got seriously into Ironman, and then I wanted to upgrade my bike because for every event I have to take my bike. So for that I got my third bike, which was a Reacto 5000 from Merida. And that was a gift for my wife for completing Colombo Ironman.
So, Doctor, what is your favorite cycling destination? That one go-to place that you want to go with your friends and other fellow companions while riding?
So basically, when it comes with friends, that is how, because of my friends only I started my cycling. We had a group when I was doing my super specialty in Amrita Institute of Medical Science. Our professors, the gastrosurgery department professors, we were all hardcore cyclists. So we all used to form a group. I can name them like Dr. Unni Krishnan, Dr. Dinesh, Dr. Sudhir, Dr. Sudhindran sir. We all used to go in groups. Every Sunday we used to have a long ride. So our favorite destination is where we get actually paratha and beef. So morning breakfast, the hotel decides our destination most of the time. So most of the time it's to from here to Fort Kochi and back, which comes around like 60 kilometers. Or we go to Charai Beach, Nedumbassery and back, so it comes around like 70 kilometers. And hilly side also we go towards that Puthankurish, Karimugal area.
Yeah.
So that is a very good route. So there also there's a Ragmat shop there.
Yeah.
So so our local bike rides used to fix on destinations with the breakfast. So it's very funny actually. Technically, when we go for a ride, we shop in a shop, ask if there is any paratha and beef. They'll say paratha is there, beef is not there. We all go sit there. When we hear that there's no beef, then we get up and we come out.
It's all about the love of food and cycling
Exactly.
coming together.
So it's more fun. It's not just love of food. It's like we wanted to have some entertainment, some motivation. So our food was a motivation factor. Food became more emotional sometimes. So that is how we could do group rides.
Great.
So and that was like local destinations. I have not. I mean, Ironman. I have gone for 2-3 Ironmans. So destinations for other thing is Kazakhstan is a good route, but headwinds. It's a good place to ride. But there's no cycling track as such, but the roads are all very long and you can have a very good...
So what about the elevation? Are the climbs really steep or?
Regarding the climbs, Munnar, you're asking for Kazakhstan? Kazakhstan, there's no climbs. It's complete flat course.
Okay.
Then flat course. But I have done BRMs to Munnar or Thrissur. Munnar, I would say that climbs is a different form of, it's a different segment from biking. I would not put that into biking. But if you love climbs, then yes, it's a different sports. It's a different endurance. It's a different set of work. It's a different, everything is completely different. A normal cyclist cannot go and ride in a Munnar. It's not like I can ride 50 kilometers of bike, so I'll go and do a mountain climb. It's really going to be difficult. So that climbs should be worked out in a different way.
Yeah. So doctor, how is your planning for the next upcoming rides?
There are a few upcoming rides I'm planning. One is I'm planning to do BRM from Trivandrum to Kanyakumari and back. That's a 200 kilometer BRM. And then there is a super series going in my town, Kochi. So already 2 series is over. The third one is been waited. So I'm waiting for that. And regarding running events, there are a few half marathons and full marathons I'm planning to do soon. And then regarding Ironman, 2023 I'm eagerly waiting to do a full Iron, but I hope at least by 24 I should be attempting my full Iron, and 2023 I'll be attempting a half Iron. So these are the things online. But usually being in Kochi, being in a city, you always have the advantage of lot of local events getting organized for 5 kilometer and 10 kilometer runs. So I'll be registering that and doing that.
So more than a cyclist, you even also have a lot of other talent as well. You're a director, you write scripts, you're into photography. So can you tell us more about those?
Filmmaking, basically if I would have not done my MBBS, if I had not become a doctor, probably I would have become a filmmaker. But my father did not like that. 12th standard, when I was doing my 12th standard, I went and told my father I wanted to make a movie, I have a story. No way, my father is very strict in that, and he was like, no way you're going to do that, you're going to become a doctor. So somehow after I came to doctor, I liked it, but then I was not having the time to think about filmmaking. But I had this story in my mind. Even right now I wrote A to Z about that story, which is from my school days. Then when I moved to Kochi, then I have the opportunity you get in the city. The beautiful thing about living in a city is that you have the opportunity to do everything or anything you want. So that is what we need to make use of a city. Being in a town or a village and a city, the main important difference is that you have the opportunity. So that opportunity I had and made use of it, and I came up with my first short film called as The Teacher, which was acted by the whole acting was done by doctors.
Okay.
It was the lead role was done by Dr. Nida, who was a pediatrician, and others are all my friends, and nobody got payment for anything and all. And with the help of Umesh, he was an associate director. He helped me. Of course, I think I would say that he only directed that movie actually. With a lot of effort, we did that movie, the 10 minutes short film, and it has awarded a lot of awards. It has taken a lot of international awards and Best Film Awards and Best Director Award. And then after that, I came up with a second short film which was taken for a blind eye donation awareness day. So it was a short film contest. For that, I took a movie along with my neighbors, kids, and they acted on it. So the whole movie was acted by the kids. It was very difficult to take with kids. There was 5 minutes short film, and making the kids acting was really
very hard.
Very hard. But we did the shoot in one day, and came up quite well, and it won the Best Director Award, Best Movie, Second Best Movie, and a lot of awards also. Wherever I send it, I get an award, and it was very nice.
Great.
And third one was about child abuse. That was taken for a 3 minutes short film in my house with my daughter. So that I have not sent for any award sessions or anything, but it has come very well.
Okay.
So 3 short films I have done, and one COVID awareness video I did with the local doctors, with all the doctors advising what to do if you have cold and fever.
Okay.
Because everyone was going for work, so I wanted to send the message that if you have fever, stay in home. Obviously, if I'm not having fever, I cannot go and find out whether I'm having COVID or not. But if you are having fever and if you are having cold, 90% it could be because of the COVID. So you just stay home, because that was no one was doing, and that was, I felt that is the main reason for this spread.
That was more like an awareness.
Exactly.
Campaign
So that I made an awareness video.
Great.
So now the next short film I'm planning to make is about a doctor. It's about doctor, our emotions and things and all. So that I'm planning in maybe in next 2 months I should be able to start the shoot.
Awesome.
And that is also going to be along with all doctors alone. So that is what I wanted to actually do. Calling somebody who knows acting and making them act is quite easy.
It's quite easy.
So I wanted to do it with a lot of doctors, so that to make them expose that only, see, we doctors are like someone like a frog in a well. We only know medicine, surgery, hospital, home. Yeah, most of us live like that. So something we need to change that. That is what I wanted to do. I want to be an example like that. That is what I tried. And regarding photography, my first photography experience was with my HOD, film Amrita, Dr. Punit. Me and him went for photographies. Now he's a avid photographer. He's a big photographer, not me. But I learned a lot of things from him, and we had a lot of interest. We had common interest, so we used to go for bird photography. Basically photography, bird photography. When my wife gives a phone and asks her to click a pic, she don't tell you are a photographer. But that is these 2 things are my very good passion. Yeah.
So going deep down into cycling is a sport that can burn a hole in your pocket. So what is your perspective on that?
Yes, definitely it makes a big hole in your pocket. It's a very costly sports actually. If you're taking it very casually, yes, you can spend a small amount for a cycle. But when you take the road conditions of Indian roads and things and all, you need to really invest on a good bike. You need to have good gears, helmet, shoes, dress code, everything is important. So when you consider all these things, it's quite costly sports. And it's a kind of addiction. So it's not just, you're not going to stop with one bike, definitely. Yeah. Once you get into the sports, obviously you're going to buy a basic bike and basic model, whatever, on your budget. and when you're upgrading it, then it's not under your control.
Yeah.
it just goes off.
We keep looking for the better
Yeah,
ones.
if you have a budget of 50,000, 70,000 will feel better. And when you go to look for a 70, then you feel like 80, 90 is better. And ordinarily you're spending 90, why not a lakh?
Yeah.
And it just keeps going. It's a kind of an addiction game. And it takes a lot of money, it takes a lot of time. And because each time you obviously, when you get into cycling, first you want to do 10 kilometer cycling, then you want to go for 20, then 50, then 100. Then why not we start a 100 mile, and then why don't we go for a BRM? And each time you register for an event, it takes a lot of money and time. So you need to make sure that time and money is one important factor. And another thing for Ironman too, I need to say that if you are practicing for Ironman, if you are interested in Ironman, one thing you need to keep in your mind is that it takes a lot of money. Financially, it matters. Registration fees is very costly. Local Ironman events is fine, but if you are doing like an international event which happens in Goa, I think we had first Goa in 2019. So if you are registering for an international event, then it takes a lot of money. You need to have a good bike, you need to go travel abroad, you need to take your flight tickets, you need to stay, it needs 1 week of stay along with your family members obviously. And preparation takes a lot of money. A lot of gadgets you need to invest. You need to have gadgets on a GPS, you need to have a good watch, a lot of things. You need to have a coach, a dietitian probably. So all those things matter. So money for endurance, yes. In that way, I used to feel that running is a good sports where you don't spend much money, once you get addicted to it, then destination, you start searching for destinations, You want to run Mumbai Marathon, you want to run Delhi Marathon, you want to run Bangalore, or you want to go for Boston or Chicago or wherever, to go abroad for running, it all takes money. So just for fitness sake, yes, definitely it's okay, but once you get into that, once you get addicted, or when you understand that this is your passion, you need to explore more, it takes a lot of time and money.
So, doctor, what is your advice to the beginner cyclist out there, or someone who is new to the whole world of cycling? What is your advice?
Don't think too much. The first problem with anyone's trying to start something, like for example, you wanted to get into some sports, cycling or running or swimming or whatever it is. The first problem we do is we spend a lot of time exploring what it is. You don't need to do that. All you need to just understand that, do you feel that cycling is a good sport for you? Go ahead and try. If you feel that if you are not ready to buy your own bike, go talk to your friend, talk to your local cycling community or clubs. They may be able to help you by lending a bike for either free or whatever. Your friend may lend you a bike, or you can get it for a rent, and start cycling with that. Find some friends. Don't do it alone. There's no point going as a beginner. No point going alone and doing cycling. You're not going to explore anything. And cycling is one good sports for an ideal person. See, if there is a person who is very ideal and wants to do some activity, you can ask him to go and run a 5 kilometer. It's never going to happen. By running, just 500 meters only, he's going to get tired and he's going to stop there. But cycling is not like that. Even a very ideal person or a very fat person or very unfit person can easily do a cycling of 20-25 kilometers, and that will easily cross more than 1.5 hours. So it's a very good sports for an ideal person or a beginner to start with.
It was a pleasure interviewing you, doctor. Thank you for your valuable time. The session was very informative as well as very fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video with Dr. Rejeesh Selvaganeshan. Until we meet in the next video, this is me, Aravind from Bicycle Card, signing off.
Thank you.